Hey guys, here's a little bite-sized nugget for you. These are ideas that aren't quite a full podcast, but still need to be said. So, in our live call in the Oh Crap Cafe last month, one thing that came up was kids and growing pains and like restless legs. So, I wanted to just offer a couple of solutions. So, it was interesting because a parent asked about growing pains, and it was dad, and he said that he was aware that growing pains weren't a thing. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. I thought I had growing pains. So, I mean, we know that it's not like the bone growing like in real time, but I think growing pains are a thing. I had them. I had very often I could tell when it was going to happen, and they would make me like scream in the middle of the night. My mom would always do like a hot water bottle and massage my legs. But then when I had Pascal, I noticed growing pains, not so much like that. Like it didn't seem as bad as I experienced them, but definitely like a restless leg kind of thing. Now, restless legs can be from many different things, and for kids, it's hard to say if it's like actually restless leg syndrome. But a lot of times, it could be like a hard day, like where they were running around a lot. Oftentimes, if they're riding their bike, if they have like a pedal bike and it's on pavement, or maybe they have just been playing really rough. So physical exertion. And they can also be when they're sweating out. So loss of magnesium can cause cramping. So we always want to pay attention to electrolytes, not saying that your kid needs like an electrolyte drink or powder or anything like that, but it could be a loss of magnesium. Magnesium is one of these things. I often work with magnesium in terms of poop because, on the potty training side of my work. And the thing about magnesium is parents are very, very, very skeptical about supplements, as well, they should be. But magnesium is one that we need. Our soil has been stripped. So even if you're eating like the best diet, which most kids aren't, they are probably not getting enough magnesium. So I always think it's best to like supplement with a little magnesium. And I think it's pretty easy to do so. One good thing you can do for that kind of restless legs is magnesium spray or roll on. So you can just get these on Amazon. You can get them on anywhere. I'll link some in the show notes, which I keep forgetting to do and people keep calling me on it. So you spray magnesium on or roll on the child's calves or on the bottom of their feet. Magnesium spray and oils tend to be salty. So be careful if your child, especially in the summer, they've had shorts and they got those cut up legs from just being alive in summertime and, falling and stuff. So just be careful that there's little cuts because it'll sting. But you can do it on their belly. You can do it on their back. You can do it on the bottom of their feet. And that helps tremendously. And even to this day, like if I get overtired, I can feel like my legs are going to cramp. And that annoying, like you're exhausted, you're drifting off to sleep, but like your legs are doing their own thing and they're kind of kicky. It takes me a while to even figure out it's happening. Or maybe you co-sleep or you can see your child on the monitor and it's just that like kicky, restless, I hate it. It's so annoying. And I always I always think it's going to go away. And then I'm like, just get up and spray magnesium. And as soon as I do, I just drift right to sleep. So that is definitely one thing. Sometimes the restlessness looks like restless legs and it can be night terrors, like the beginning of night terrors. Night terrors don't have to be like full blown craziness, although they can be. One thing that I always found really helps is called Calms Forte and for kids. And it's a homeopathic, and it just, it just always calmed Pascal down. It just like always made his system, it felt like his system took a big breath. And there were nights where him going to sleep, he'd start to go to sleep and he'd be like, Mommy, can I have that medicine? It's almost like he knew something was up, usually because he was overtired. I think these crampiness, restless nights can come from being overtired. Same thing with night terrors. And so he knew preventatively how to ask for that, which I thought was kind of cool. Again, I'll put these in the show notes. Calms Forte for kids. And then another thing that's really great is chamomile tincture. So this is like the benefits of chamomile tea, but in a tincture form so that it's not quite so much liquid, especially if your kid's like newly night potty trained. We want to not have accidents. And they do sell ones that are just for kids, and that you want the one for kids because the adult ones have alcohol in them. They're made with alcohol. Ask me how I know. I know because I gave it to my child and it burned his mouth. And so, yeah. So you definitely want the chamomile for kids. I also recommend the chamomile for kids after school. So if your child's coming home from preschool or kindergarten or first or second grade, usually the younger kids, that transition can be really tricky. So I love the chamomile tincture for that time of day because they come out of school wound up, wiped out, right? They're wired but tired. So it's kind of anybody's guess who comes out of the school doors, right? And so the chamomile tincture is really great. I also recommend Rescue Remedy. That is a Bach flower remedy. And that also is just really great for just keeping the system calm, the whole system. You can just see it. I don't know. I would give that to Pascal again after school when he was wired but tired. And he would, you could just see it was like, it was just not so wound so tight. So I do recommend those again, for getting out of school, but also before bed. These are not stimulants at all. So they're really helpful for wind down, just a nice little herbal assist to help wind your child down. For a lot of kids, especially if you're single or both parents work outside the home, it's just this crash landing at night. Everybody walks in at the same time. They got to eat, you got to bathe, you got to, like, everything's happening. And so we don't often walk into like a peaceful, mellow situation after a full day. So it's always good, if we can do a little herbal assist here. So yeah, so magnesium spray on the legs, calms Forte, chamomile tincture, and rescue remedy. All right, that's it. Bye.